Hi everyone, so I'm going to show you a quick Lightroom tip today on creating a moody image that is going to make those images of yours absolutely pop. Let's jump in. So we've got these two images side by side, the after and the before. Let me show you how that's done. All the way down in the HSL slider, you're going to go to the blue tones and you're going to desaturate it 100%. So there's absolutely nothing there. So then you're going to take the luminosity, bring it down a little bit, press M on the keyboard, and create a linear mask. Exposure down, same on the bottom, exposure down again, same on the back, increase the feather, straight down again. What we can do to make it a little bit more moody is bring up those blue tones just a little bit, get a little bit of blue in there, could be quite interesting. Bring the hue back a little bit. That's quite interesting there. Now you're going to press K on the keyboard to create a brush. Now I want to use dehaze to get that little bit of extra moodiness around the bird. So what you're going to do is you're going to go down to dehaze, decrease it. But now if you decrease it, you're going to be adding a hell of a lot of light in there. So as you can see, there's lots of light coming in there. So we want to undo that, Control Z, and we want to decrease it a little bit, but just to add that little moodiness to the image. So I want to decrease the flow, increase the density a little bit, just around the top, around the front, the bottom, just all over, just adding those little bits of light, fake clouds, fake mist, fake dust. And then what you can do is you bring it down a little bit, just like that. So we're going to show before and after, before and after. Now to make that bird pop, we can go back down to the HSL slider and we're going to use the red, orange and yellow sliders. So red, I don't think much is going on, just a little bit. We can increase that. Orange, I want to increase to make the bird pop because you can see it's quite a lot of orange there. We can increase the luminosity just a little bit. And yellows, I want to bring back to the red side and increase those quite a bit and decrease the luminosity. So I like it, but it's not there yet. I want to increase the shadow coming from the top and from the bottom. So we're going to use M on the keyboard again, bring down a mask, increase the feather quite a bit because I don't want to be as strong. I press O to look at the feather. There we go. I can bring that down quite a bit. And on the blacks, it gives the airy feeling. So we press M again. We're doing that from the bottom as well. Change the angle a little bit. Just like that. Press O again to remove the red. Boom. Just like that. So it's already looking dark and airy and something. We press L on the keyboard to go light so you can see it by itself. It's already starting to look good. Now what we can do is we can zoom in and look at the detail. So as you can see, there's quite a lot of detail. What are we working with here? The eye, I want to make it pop. I want it to express emotion in it. So you can see there's quite a bit of light in that eye. So let's increase that even more. Just a little touch, not till it looks fake, but just a little bit more. So decrease the feather, increase the flow and density, just like that. And I want to increase the whites, maybe a little bit of exposure. I always like to overdo it in the beginning to see the effect and where it's being placed on the bird or the subject, and then we can decrease it afterwards. So you can see all these pixels over here are going way too white, but that's fine for now. And what we want to do is we want to zoom out again. And then we can adjust it once we see a little bit better. So that's a little bit too much. Bring it down slightly. That's absolutely perfect. So we can see what it looks like before and after. Before and after. Just a slight increase, but enough to make it pop. Now what we can do is we can darken these feathers here to increase the contrast between the light feathers and the dark feathers, which I think would add quite a nice touch to it, I think. Yes. So we can create another brush here, increase the feather all the way up, density quite low. And then we want to bring down the blacks and then the exposure just a touch. But as I said before, it's always good to overdo it and then change it to where you think is the best. So you see what it's doing, and then you can adjust the settings after that. So let's just paint that on over here, all over these feathers, not too high, just like that. That should be good. And then what I also want to add to this is I want to add it to the inside over here, just to create some depth and darkness, just a little bit over there, and then underneath the wing over here. Okay, so what we can do is we can play with these sliders now that it's on the bird. We can have a look at it. I think that there is perfect. Okay, so now for me, one thing is it's looking a little bit too yellow. I prefer that darker, richer tone. So what I want to do is these oranges, I want to bring it more to the reds, and these yellows, I want to bring more to the reds as well, the orange. Can desaturate that a little bit, and that for me is really starting to look nice. We can play with color grading if you really want to, like shadows. We can go into the blues and the magentas and stuff like that. It does add quite a nice feel to it. That blue magenta area over here, we can decrease that if you wanted to. The mid-tones, we could also go the same area, or we can go into the greens and yellows. That kind of adds a nice extra depth to it, if you could say. That's quite nice. Highlights I want to leave. Okay, so now it's already starting to look really good. So we can show you the before and after. We've done quite a bit, but really simple stuff. It's not super technical. It's not overboard crazy. It's really simple. So let me show you another little thing. So you see we've got all these little dark pockets of light up here in between the cloud and the dehaze. So I want to accentuate those just a little bit more. So we're going to create another brush using K on the keyboard. And then what we're going to do is bring down the blacks and bring down the exposure. Like I've said before, overdo it now, change it later. So we're just going to paint those in just a little bit. As you can see, it's overdone quite a bit, but that's okay. For now, we're going to bring that back. Basically, I'm just looking to see if there's any darker pieces around that I can accentuate a little bit. So you can see it looks terrible. But now all we're going to do is we're going to decrease the amount we've just done. So we've got where we wanted to go, but we're going to decrease the amount. So let's go to -3. And then we can actually leave that. What we can do is leave it on -3, just a little, -1, -2. And our shadow, I think that looks pretty good. You know, looks really nice. So that's a before and after. Looks really good. So now there are a couple other things that we could do to this image, but I just wanted to show you what you are able to do to a bird in flight, for instance, a vulture. Blue is always not the nicest thing to shoot against. So a bird in flight is always nice to have background. So if it's eye level, that's even better. So you get some nice depth of field of a forest in the background, or a tree or a branch or something. But when a bird is in flight in the sky and there's nothing besides maybe some cloud or just plain blue, add some depth to it, add some mood to it if you want to, and create an image that looks like, for instance, this image. It looks a bit dark, it looks moody. This bird's on its way to something. It's naughty, it's eerie. So that's why I did this image like I did here. And it's super simple, as you can see. Anyone can do it. Just move a couple sliders around and there you go. Thanks for watching. Please subscribe, and I'll hopefully be doing more videos like these, of these simple little tricks that make your images look cool. So yeah, thanks for watching. Cheers.